thought I'd try different music this morning. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's see. Acoustic cinematic. So like in the middle, this music a bit more cinematic as time goes on. So like this. So what do we have going on today? Wow. Have to say, I got stop the music. Okay, I stopped the music. So let's get into a few of the shenanigans that are going on in the planets. Tomorrow's the full moon in Gemini, and it's going to be squaring off to Neptune. If you've been having cray dreams, yeah, that moon as it's coming into this square, especially over this weekend, it's been with Jupiter, and then passed over Uranus and with the square to Venus. And yeah, it's been given, some really crazy kind of dreams. And it's been, yeah, really interesting. I had an interesting visitor today. My brother-in-law who passed away, and I was cleaning up in the kitchen, and I don't know, I just decided to clean. And so as I was cleaning up in the kitchen, and mopping the floor and stuff, I got a weird sensation. I got, oh wow, Rupert's here, and he was kind of joking, and I felt like that energy of him joking and stuff, and it was. I didn't want to say anything to Steve because I didn't want to upset him and stuff, but I could feel him, came in to say hello and just to let us know he's okay, because, humans want to know that their deceased loved ones are okay on the other side. So he came in to say hello. And then we're sitting here having coffee this morning, and Steve goes, "My brother was here this morning." And I went, "Yeah, he was. He was." And he could feel his brother's presence as well. My husband doesn't talk about stuff like that very often because it's ghosts, and they don't talk about ghosts too much. So he was talking about the ghost, and oh, his brother. There's a lot of things that he did. I guess was sorry, and they had a little conversation, and it was quite emotional for him. But it's that type of, when somebody passes, sometimes you won't feel them right away, but some people will get the person coming in to say goodbye. And I feel that's what he did. So my husband got his goodbye to his brother, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. And especially as we're coming in with that, um, that square with Neptune and the moon, because it does bring in and open up doors. It is that area of the chart that has the connection to spirit, the connection to those that have passed on. Yeah, I still got a half cup. So, so it does have that connection. So it's, the Neptunian energy is very prevalent, along with the Scorpio or not the Scorpio, the Saturn energy. The Saturn energy as it's coming in too is it wants to, it wants to be grounded, but it's very difficult because it's, in detriment, it's in Pisces, and there is so much going on with trying to get it right. A lot of times people are just trying to get it right, wanting to get it right, got to get it right, and get really hung up on it has to be this way. It has, um, instead of coming into that intuition, into that knowingness, right? So, that's the whole thing, is like coming into that knowingness is so important. Tapping into that part of yourself and just saying, yeah, you know, I gotta let go. I gotta let go of some of this stuff. I gotta let go of, um, what I'm trying to control. And I think, with Saturn being in Pisces is a huge one. That's a huge one. You can't have control over everything, and you want to have control over everything. You want it to look a certain way. You want it to have it a certain way, but it's not happening. It's just not going the way that you thought it would. And and you're pushing up against, some roadblocks. You're pushing up against something that's just elusive. It's just like, Saturn saying, go ahead, keep pushing. It ain't going to go anywhere, and it's going to cause you more harm than good. And when it comes, especially when we're heading into that Gemini energy, which is very rapid moving, and as we're heading into this energy of wanting to communicate, wanting to, and it's in the head. That's the whole thing. When we have a lot of Gemini energy, or people have it in their chart, or if they have Mercury in Gemini, they communicate so differently, and they usually communicate quite quickly, right? Because that Mercury energy wants to blah 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 blah. And so it's interesting that, we do have, like, right now, while Mercury's over in Sag, it's in fire. It's not happy in that mutable. It's headed, it's in its shadow phase, and it's out of bounds. I mean, it's not on the ecliptic, right? So it's not following the ecliptic, where the sun follows. It's like, which is, it's doing its own thing. It's way out there. So that communication, trying to communicate, trying to get, I need to have the right answer, and I need it now. I need to have the answer like this. I need to see it like this. And here we have, with this coming forward, it's like, I'm going to use, with Rupert coming through, it's like, no, you're going to get the communication this way. This is the way that you're going to receive it. And allowing yourself to be open to receiving it. It's beautiful. Allowing yourself to be open to embracing it, you know, is something that is very um, phenomenal, I believe. And stepping into that embracement of the beauty of that energy. So we are coming into this full moon, and this full moon is, yeah, it's crazy. I just posted something up on my Facebook, and I'll just read it out here to you. It says, "Good intentions often uh, pave the way to hellish situations when Venus forms a square to Pluto in the sky. The reason is that Venus wants to make love, not war, and her pacifying energy could lead you to accommodating when you shouldn't. Maybe you are sick and tired of rearranging your schedule to accommodate your boss who never says thank you, or of having to explain away a client's gruff behavior to offend coworkers, or taking a back seat to a lover's more burning priorities. There comes a time when you have to ask yourself if you are enabling all of this. One could say you need better boundaries, but boundaries don't always work in relationships where the balance of power isn't always balanced. What you can do is stop covering. This force said, employer, client, or lover to take responsibility for their actions without you running interference for them. Sometimes it's only by facing the music that one learns to play nicely with others. And that's part of the energy as well. We got to learn to, put up those boundaries. It's very important for us to be putting up those boundaries, and learning how to work with it, like learning how to move with it too. Because it's, when you are in a relationships, and plus Venus is quincunxed um with Uranus. And being in that quincunx means that sometimes, and especially when Venus, anytime she's in a quincunx with, she doesn't put, she doesn't realize the actions that you are doing are offending other people. that the actions that you are doing, it's not so much offending, but maybe putting other people out of sorts because you're putting, it's all about me, it's all about me, and you're not seeing how that affects other people around you. And a lot of times when I see that in somebody's chart, it's like they have no idea that, oh, what do you mean I offended somebody? Oh, I had no idea that that ruined somebody's day or whatever it is, because it's when they become overly self-absorbed. And even with that square with Pluto, because Pluto wants the structure, wants to have it certain ways, and Pluto right now is trying to rearrange everything that is structural. You like all the structures, trying to rearrange it, and Venus just is like, no, let's have a balance with it. I'm in Libra. Let's have a good time. I don't want to make all these decisions, kind of thing. I want to have a good relationship, and we're seeing that sometimes in having a good relationship, there are compromises. And sometimes it's not so much that you have the good relationship. It's that the relationship that's at hand, maybe neither can really see eye to eye within the situation, but there is some common ground that needs to be looked at. And it comes down to the basis of that common ground, that everybody wants shelter. Everybody wants to feel safe. They want food in their house, and they want their children to be safe and healthy. Those are some of the basis of humanity. Those are the basis of creating a more harmonious life. And when we can come together on that, it's very important. When you can bypass discomforts of the feelings that you have about yourself, about others, about other things that are going on. This is where, and look, that you can come into the common ground. But it's almost where, if you are pushing your common ground, or you're thinking that your way is the best way and it's only your way, and you become very self-absorbed in that and not understanding how others believe or think, that's where chaos comes in. That's where obstructions come in. That's where things can get very messy and explosive. And we have to look at our own lives within our own selves, and the relationships that we have, and how we individually are reacting, are behaving in our world, and how that is affecting those around us. And when we start to realize that our actions have consequences, when we start realizing that how we react, because we have control over our reactions on situations that are going, and sometimes we can get very hot-headed. And when Mercury right now is in shadow phase and communication is not up there. Communication can be very fiery and very like blow, like, it's like explosive. You know, that's when others can get explosive as well. And that's where you can get into crazy, avoidable disruptions. And that's where, with the energies that are coming in, where it's so important that we really take a look at our actions. We take a look at how we are entering into a situation. Taking that 100% responsibility with what we are doing is so important. And especially with a full moon in Gemini, that is going to square Neptune, because there's going to be a lot of distortions. There's going to be, media that's going to come in and say things that are gonna blow your mind, that just don't make sense, like, that doesn't make sense. It's, the media, in what happened in Ireland, in Dublin, the horrific thing that happened to those children. and the woman, and there's a gentleman that was involved too. How that just sort of erupted before more information came out, right? And as things are um, unfolding, you find out more information. You find out things that are like, oh wow, maybe this person wasn't mentally well. Maybe this person was supposed to be under some kind of care or whatever it was. But that explosion happened. And look at what that reaction of that explosion had on other people, other businesses. Our anger, had a ripple effect. And this is where we're at within the world around us and the energies that are coming in, where we have to really be conscious of how we are coming forward with things. And I know I can be very reactive. I have Mars on Mars right now, and my Mars is in Sagittarius, and it can be flipped on a switch, man. This is where I have to really be aware of it, and it's squaring Saturn, and that's also squaring the sun, and how you are reacting to all of this, and the emotions that come in, and where we have to take maybe a 20-minute break and breathe, you know and that's going to be very important over the next coming days and weeks and months, and as we are going to be heading into 2024, we're going to be realizing that breath work is going to work really, really well. So for this week, Aries, if you haven't heard back by the 27th, then send a follow-up email or text. Mercury is squared to Neptune and implies that your application or request got lost in the mix. So most people would feel rejected and would probably slink away. But you are in Aries, and which means you are made up of sterner stuff. So insist on a response, and it should show up by the end of the week. It's never pleasant being treated like an afterthought, but this is more of a reflection of the person you are waiting on than it is on you. So if anything, it shows how disorganized they are, and that you are solely needed. So definitely, Aries, take a look at that. If you're not getting the responses or hearing back from the people that you want, take some time and don't slither away. Stick to your guns. My lovely Taurus, and I'm going to post these up again because I wrote them out, and so I'll repost all of this into my Facebook page as well. Taurus, you'd love nothing more than to say good riddance to a business association. Not only has this client been judgmental and unappreciative, but could probably do much better with someone else. Circulate word that you are looking, and you'll surely find a replacement in days. However, you still share a history, and that's not something you feel like giving up. Remember, Tauruses don't like to burn bridges. It's not a thing for them. But there have been times when this person outrageous demands pushed you further than you would have gone on your own, when circumstances, although harsh, were also enlightening. It's unlikely you'll ever find this anywhere else. So the question remains, is the aggression and aggravation worth it? Is the aggravation worth it? So there's, whatever's going on in your life, you're going to find somebody who's going to be aggravating you. And is that really worth it to you? And that's an interesting question for Tauruses to really have, because, as I say, Tauruses don't like to burn bridges, and they really like to keep people in their back pasture, sometimes a little bit longer than they should. Gemini, you have been pressing buttons you were warned not to press. When I was writing, I laughed at this. But anyways, both literally and figuratively, since childhood, it can't be helped. There's just something about your zodiac sign that feels compelled to do the opposite of what you've been told. This is something you'll want to keep in check. Okay, on November 27th, when your ruling planet Mercury forms a square to Neptune in the sky, Resist the urge to disobey, and you will emerge with the result you seek on December 2nd. Allow your curiosity and to get, don't allow your curiosity or contrariness to get the better of you, and you will have no one but yourself to blame for your undoing. I'm horrible at reading my own writing and reading my own stuff. It's just one of those things. Anyways, bear with me. Let's go on. Cancers. There's nothing wrong with walking back a statement or changing your mind about decisions if it's wrong. Nowadays, any reveals is automatically seen as a sign of weakness, but it isn't. It is better, but isn't it better to change a course while you can than to continue down a path that leads to disaster? This is something you will have to face when there's a full moon in Gemini on November the 27th. It's no fun facing a jeering throng, but it's only a passing indignity. The real victory will be with those higher ups who never thought you had the metal and are now mightily impressed with your own leadership and integrity. So stand up for yourself, Cancer. I mean, you're going to find it's going to be imperative that you do. And if you're finding that things are not going in the direction that you wish it to go and it doesn't feel right, trust your intuition on that and change course. Leos. Leo. Leo rules the heart, but sometimes it's better for the head to take over, as you'll see when there's a full moon in Gemini on the 27th. This lunar phase encourages you to be open to points of views that aren't in agreement with yours. Others would question the value of this, but you have become too enthralled by the echo chamber of your inner circle lately, and the advice they have given isn't the best. Being a fixed sign, there will be lots of no's before there's a yes. But when the yes strikes, probably around the second, the realization will be both quick and substantial for you. Lovely Virgos. Questioning your decisions again and again is a telltale sign that you are not happy with it. Internal unrest can make you aggravated, snarky, and ready to bite off someone's head of anyone who echoes your doubts. The only thing worse than a bad decision is your manufactured justification of making it, which means that it's time to throw all those puzzle pieces back in the box and give it a healthy shake. You may think that there's no time to go back to the beginning, but you'll be surprised by how quickly things come together now that you are no longer trying to force it. You got that? Libras. There is um, like a facade bargain is never advisable. But sometimes there is a necessary evil. That's the quandra you'll find yourself in on December 3rd when Venus squares Pluto. This is one of the occasions when the only person who can help is the last one you'd ever turn to make the choice. Think of the Little Mermaid training her voice for the human feet so that she can pursue her person of dreams. Only you can decide if this sacrifice is really worth it. There's nothing wrong with backing out, but should you agree when you need to accept that at costs will be steep. So be careful on the deals that you make, Libras. Really think about what it is that you are wanting to get involved with and who you want to get involved with. So that's going to be very important. Scorpios, you'll soon be contacted by an old flame. Not only as they are sorry for breaking things off, but it's clear that they want you back. It's the moment you have always dreamed of, the prodigal lover who broke your heart coming back to you on bended knees, begging for forgiveness, and you, cold and implacable at first, gradually melting into all loving embrace. However, you know, and the more than this person does right now, that it would never work. And it's not just, when I say old flames, It's not just the old flames, but it could be a friend. It could be even a job that comes back. And you just know it's not going to work. It just seems all wonderful and flowery right now, but it will not work. So whatever you had can't revive. And you got to tell this person that the choice they made was the right one and that you'd be better off apart than together. And that's with a lot of situations that may be coming up for Scorpios right now, that you're going to really have to look at those situations and say, you know what, I'm better off, thank you, but no. So, uh, just be weird, just be leery of those types of situations. Sagittarius, it's hard picking yourself up off the ground after after your hopes have been dashed. Most people never do. Yet the plus side to being thrown from the horse as many times as you have is in learning to take setbacks in stride. This may not prevent you from making the same mistakes. It's the downside to being born with infallible optimism. But you're resilient and recover fast. So, something else you'll notice is how you're becoming more confident. And this is something that will benefit you in the weeks and ahead when Pluto in Aquarius changes the direction of the current you have struggled against for so long. Capricorn. As Capricorn, you are used to going it alone, and if there's a job that needs doing, you'll shoulder it yourself. Or if you are the loved one who needs supporting, you'll do whatever it takes to pay the bills and keep a roof over the head. Yet for someone who's surrounded by so many people, it's amazing how much you resist relying on them. It's time to lower your guard, and Pluto's approach to Aquarius shows a new influx of people coming into your life. But these aren't people who will be asking what you can do for them, rather what they can do for you. So new type of energy coming in for Capricorn, especially once Pluto starts getting into Aquarius. Aquarius. This is a week when information that was previously withheld from you is finally shared. It's not unlike the US government declassifying UFO documents. Some of this will be things you are already suspected were true, while other disclosures will take you completely by surprise. Indeed, you may wonder why so many people have chosen this time to come forward with their true feelings, hidden agendas, and off the record conversations. You have the Mercury Saturn sextile on December 2nd to thank for this. All in all, it will be a lot to process, but it's always better to be in the know than in the dark. Finally, my lovely Pisces. The full moon on November 27th shows a family matter is more serious than initially thought and supposed. You thought a loved one was doing okay, but it looks like they lied about the gravity of the situation. Yet before you get angry, ask yourself if you were really listening to what they were saying. It's often said that it takes two to deceive, one to mislead and the other to accept the things at face value. In any case, you have a chance to be there for them. You won't make up for lost time, but that doesn't matter if your intervention now is crucial and timely. So, lots going on in the lovely stars above and the energies that are happening right now. A lot of people, I feel, over this next coming week, there's decisions that people are going to be making and new courses that are going to be taken. And in doing that, oh, I get poor connection. In doing that, you're going to find that new opportunities are going to come our way in different scenarios. So a lot of things you're going to find will be changing for people as we go forward on our journey. I know for myself, I'm doing more digital downloads and looking into a Shopify store, a digital one. And the one reason is, one reason for doing the Shopify store and looking at the shop, uh, I pay a monthly It's like they just said I pay monthly rent for it, but it's not monthly rent. But anyways, I pay a fee monthly for it, and there's no other hidden cost. Where Etsy and other places there are hidden cost. This way, for the digital download, you can get it automatically. Like as soon as you purchase it, it's sent to your email. Right now, for the digital downloads, it's like I send it to you personally. So that's the huge difference with it. And I'm doing one. I did the life workbook, which is totally awesome. And the life workbook is over 80 pages, and it goes through the different areas of our lives, from from budgeting to self-care, to how do we want to volunteer, what does volunteering look like, to family and friends, and how we want to have adventures in our life. And it asks questions, and it has different motivative ways of getting you to really take a look at the direction you would like to take for 2024. And in taking the reins, it's going to be important for 2024 for you to take the reins of the direction. I have it right now. We looked at it, and regular price is $25, and right now we have it on for our Christmas special will be for $20. So we have that's happening. Plus my 2024 moon journal is $15. So if you're interested right now in those digital downloads, just let me know. E-transfer, PayPal, and I send it directly to your email, and it's there for you. It's a PDF download. We also have still I'm doing the lunar readings for 2024. They're on for $288, which is a crazy price, because regular, like even at $25, there's $600 for the year. So this is like 24 readings that you receive throughout 2024 on each of the lunar cycles, the full and the new moon cycle, for 288. And if you are interested in it, and you don't have, there's no booking appointments or nothing. I do the readings and I send them to your inbox. They're anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes. And going through how the shenanigans of the planets are behaving for you or misbehaving for you, whatever that could be. So they are on right now for $288. So that's just totally phenomenal. And if you are interested in it, or if you need to make a payment plan with that, just let me know, and definitely we can set something up for you, so that you can receive those readings. And I've been doing these readings for several years now. I think for like over 5 years, I've been doing these readings, and I'm amazed that I have a lot. I have a lot of repeat customers, that clients that do want to get this every single year, because they found it very beneficial for them, and they look forward to these readings each and every month. And um, I find that I just find it fascinating when these readings, um, it's an astrological reading and it's a tarot reading, at how they can really help people and benefit people. And you receive it twice, 2 times a month. So basically every second week with that. So that's pretty fucking awesome. Peek into 2024. I still have that on sale. So the peek into 2024 is $30 instead of $50. So if you want to join me on December 30th in the evening, and we're going to take a look astrologically and go through e- go through the highlights of how the planet's shenanigans will play out on the collective, and how that looks. And we will draw a card as we go along, for each of those. So we'll be doing that. So there you go, guys. I want you guys all to have a fabulous day today. We have basketball today. Yay me. So Mateus and I get to go to basketball. And I just want to send you guys out so much love. and be leery outside out there, as you journey upon the road, because Mars square Saturn is also mechanical errors. It's also, when this happens, it's like if you need to get something done in your vehicle, get it done. So this is my week. I'm going to like we're going to get the oil changed. So this is like, and also realize that this could be a test on your own mental health. So really, be aware of how you're feeling and how you are, um, mentally, feeling as well. So really honor yourself, with all of these energies, because it could trigger many different types of scenarios going on with inside yourself. So honor that. So on that note, may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be. Blessings from the Divine Mother, and may the blessings of the Divine Mother give you the opportunity to be of service to her. And in doing so and being of service, may she bless you with enough to meet your needs. Sending out so much blessings. Have a great one. And we're going to use the acoustic music again. Bye bye.